Hey guys, welcome to today's video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build an email agent from scratch that have a lot of different functions. So let's begin. This email agent is part of my personal ultimate assistant called Q. She can enter my email, calendar, Notion, Zoom, contacts, ClickUp, which is my task management platform, and Tavily, so she is connected to the internet. Today, we're just going to focus on the email agent, but later on, you will be able to get on this channel each and every one of those. So let's go over what this email agent does. It can send emails, it can reply to emails, it can label different emails, it can create drafts, it can take email and mark it as unread. It can also get the emails and get labels, and those functions are used to be able to use other functions, and we will go over them one by one so you'll know how to create those. To start, let's do some examples of what this email can do. I connected it to a chat, so I'll start with a chat, and we will start with, I just send an email to myself. Thanks for watching this video. Great share today. So I'll just start by asking it, what was the last email I got today? So as you can see, it shows me that the last email I got today, you received an email today from Sefy Tofan. Thanks for watching the video. I'll say, great. What is this email about? This email is a response to a video shared by you. The sender, Sefy, expressed appreciation for the content of the video and inquires about the topic of your next video. Okay, that's great. Can you label this email as urgent? So now it goes, it gets the labels, and then it's labeled the email as urgent. So if I'll go here, I'll go to urgent, you'll see that it's now here. And if I'll refresh the page, it should show us urgent here, right? So now I want to also, can you answer Sefy Tofan email and tell him that the next video will be about the calendar agent. I have replied, so let's go and see. Again, just refreshing real quick. And as you can see, hey Sefy, thank you for the interest. The next video will be about the calendar. I'm excited to share it with you soon. Best regard, Sefy Tofan. So that's so far pretty amazing. I can also create a draft from him and say, can you also create a draft for Sefy Tofan saying that the calendar agent video will include adding, deleting, updating events, and much more. And if we go here to drafts, we will have this draft, and it automatically chooses the title of the email. As you can see, upcoming video details and all of the information I just told them. So with this, let's understand how this build works. So first of all, there are two ways that I can trigger this agent. The first one will be via chat, and I do it just for the sake of this tutorial. But in essence, what we will usually use is when executed by another workflow. That means that when another workflow, like the personal assistant, send a request to the email agent, it will execute this entire automation. So now for the sake of the tutorial, I won't show from the personal assistant, but just know that there are two different important things to edit when you are choosing one of those. So to start, of course, you will start with plus, add another trigger or add a trigger, and you can, when executed by another workflow or on chat message. When we have a chat message in the email agent, you will see that the source of the prompt will be connected to the chat trigger node, which means that the source of the prompt, what we send the AI, will be from the chat. But if we're using another workflow, what we need to do is to change it to define below. And when we define it below, if I'll just connect it for a moment so you can see, and I'll send those to data points, right? So it's just accept all data. So let's say that this is what the personal assistant sent the Gmail, and I'll send it to him. What I'll need here is to actually go and map what I want to bring the AI. And by doing this, that's the text message. So if the personal assistant send the email agent, hey, can you add a new email? That would be the text here. So for now, let's keep it on the connected chat trigger. And then another important thing when you change between chat and executed, it's the window buffer memory. So whenever you create an AI agent, you can add a memory. Now, you won't need all the time to add a memory. From my perspective, I added this memory for the tutorial, but in essence, I won't add a memory in the agent itself because the personal assistant is the one that sends all of those requests. So every time she sends a request, there is an output that goes back to her. So there is no memory that needs to be done here. But for this tutorial, because I want to do a couple of different actions, for example, as you saw in the demo, I asked for the last email I got, and then I asked to reply. Now, if I didn't have memory, I would be able to do just one of those without keeping the memory of the other. So I could ask for something, but it won't remember I asked it. And then I can ask to reply. So in essence, yes, I can ask to do a couple of different actions and it can operate on a couple of different actions, but it will be much better if you have if you want to be able to save memory and communicate long-term with the agent to have the memory. When you have the memory, you again want to change if it's trigger, so based on chat, then you trigger the node based on chat. If it's defined below, you do the same. You just come here and you copy what you wrote in the text and you paste it here. So for now it's chat, and I'll literally delete this so we can be on. Okay. So whenever we are adding an email, an AI agent, we can choose the agent itself. This one is tools because this is what we're going to use, but there are other types of agents based on your needs, like conversational one or functions. For example, functions will be really good for a very structured, complex prompt. I will use tools agent because this is what we need. And before I'll show you the system message, what you'll need to do is add a model. So I choose GPT-4o, and to have GPT-4o, if you haven't connected it yet, what you want to do is you want to go to create new credentials, then you'll go to platform.openai.com. When you go here, you'll press on the dashboard. On the top right corner in the dashboard, if you scroll down, API keys, and here you can create a new secret key. When you create a new secret key, you give it a name, let's say test, and then you create the secret key. It will give you a secret key. You can copy this. Of course, I will delete this one after this video. And you go to the email agent, create new, you just paste here in the API key the key, and you save, and it will connect your account. Close. Okay. So now that we have the model itself and we added the memory, we want to start adding the tools themselves. So there are a lot of different tools that you can add, especially if you add a Gmail tool. So if I'll go here and I'll add tool plus Gmail, there are a lot of different functions that we can use. It can be message, label, draft, thread, and each and every one of them. So message have different operations, labels have different operations, draft have different operations. Now, one of the biggest traps when you start working with n8n is that you want to do everything and you want to connect everything, but it's a trap because it's a waste of time. The entire idea with automations is to save you time, so you get more time, so you can translate this time in making more money. In essence, what I usually do to make sure that I'm leverage every single agent in the most effective and efficient way is that first I sit down and I understand what is the use I do with the specific functions of the agent. So for example, if it's a Gmail agent, how do I use Gmail? What do I actually do on Gmail that I'll need help with? And instead of just creating extra functions and extra actions that I won't really use, I'll just create the ones that I actually use. So what I created is one that can, first of all, send emails, reply to emails, label different emails, create drafts for me if I want to make sure that I love the draft before I send it, then get emails, get labels. We use those functions to get IDs if we want to reply for a specific email. So the agent cannot just reply to an email before we have specific information about which email we want to reply to, and then to change something to an unread. So let's go over the system prompt. If you want to add a system prompt, I'll just copy it for a second. After you add the agent, you add option, system message, you change to expression because expression will give you the ability to open and see it in a much more comfortable way. From a system message perspective, we have an email management assistant. All emails must be formatted professionally in HTML and signed off as Sefy Tofan. Now, this is something you need to change. If you want this complete AI agent, of course, you can go to my school community. In the school community, it's absolutely free, and you will find all of those builds. You will find the video, you will find the build. You can just import this build and you can start building it, integrating your account, and you will save a lot of time, which is why we're doing it. And then in the email management tools, you have the send email, create draft, get emails, get labels, and mark unread, label email, and email reply. Now, all of those for send emails, craft draft, get emails, and get labels are one-time action. But mark unread, label email, and email reply need to first get the email so you can have the message ID that you want to reply to or label or mark as unread. So this is why we have those instructions here. I also like to add communication style whenever I'm talking with an agent because I want a simple text response in a conversational style. That's because we're using the chat here. And instructions, when asked to create drafts, you can decide the title name. If I want, I can change it later. And of course, in the final notes, I will give them the date and time. So let's go over each and every one of those tools. So the first one is send email. What we will do is message, because the resource is message, send. Now, the way I am working with AI agents is in the old way you used to actually go and map every action. So to, you needed to go and map the to. Subject, you needed to go and add the subject. But when you think about it, the entire idea behind an AI, artificial intelligence agent, is that it has intelligence. And this is why here there is this amazing function called from AI, which means that this information will come from the AI, from the brain, from the intelligence, right? And it means that here, grab from the AI the email address. Here, get from the AI the subject. So the model GPT-4o in this case will actually be the one creating those data points or expressions to fill in the AI. And that saves us so much time because now I can just come here and map every single process with from AI and just in the AI message, sometimes just change a couple of the system messages and that's it, it's ready. So in send email, we will go and map it as message, send, to subject, everything from AI, email type is HTML, and the message is email body. Now, n8n just added this attribution, which means that it will actually add in the end of the email. This email was sent automatically with n8n. So I won't actually integrate this. Then we have email reply, which means that again, it's message, this time it's reply. And now because we reply to someone, we first need to get the message ID. So the way we get it is with the get emails function, which is in essence resource message, and we want to get many messages. Now, we don't do return all because we don't want all of the emails. We want a very specific amount of emails based on the request that we provided the AI. This is why here in the limit, we will add from AI limit how many emails the user wants. This way, we don't need to determine how many users, how many emails, and we don't just do a fixed function. We actually give it to the AI to decide. And I added a filter here, sender, and it's the sender whose this email are from. Now it will grab the information and then from the agent, it will be able to reply based on the ID that it got from the get email function and give the email body. Same with label emails, it will first get the ID and then put the label ID. It can also get labels. So in essence, it will get all of the labels to make sure that it knows which labels he can use. So if I'll ask him, can you tell me which labels I have. You can actually go and get the labels and tell me, okay, you have trash, draft, spam, chat, sent, inbox, important, and I can just add, I can come here, for example, add a different category and say, let's call it test cut, create. And now if I'll go here, can you, let's just copy this and paste, and you'll see that this one urgent user defined, and now we will have another one, test cat user defined, right? So in essence, this one gets all of those labels. So we will be able to label different emails with the label ID. And again, everything is from AI. It can also create draft, get and mark unread. This one will be message, mark as unread. That will be draft, so not message, a draft, create, and same information as before. And something for me which was important to add here is that I split this, as you can see, to success and try again. So why I did, first of all, how I did it is if you go to settings and you change the drop down on error to continue using error output, it will mean that it will automatically create this fork of success and error. So success means that I just bring the information out, right? So the response is a string of this output. On error, what I'll do is I'll actually I move the information up to the personal assistant that he was unable to perform the task. Please try again. Now, one thing that I'm going to update here is that every time I have an error, I also want the personal assistant to know what was the problem. And so I would be able to have a feedback loop and actually fix those problems. So yeah, so that's the email agent. Again, if you want to download it, just go to my school community. It's totally free. You can join today and you will be able to download this email agent and other agents that I've already built. Just so you know, one of the main things that I'm going to share soon will be this ultimate personal assistant, which can do a lot of different stuff like getting emails, getting calendars, going into my Notion, into my idea hubs and integrate different ideas I have on the go. She can add into calendars Zoom links. She can go into all of my contacts, and she can add and change all of my different tasks for me and for my employees. So if you want to have this, stay tuned because I'm going to upload this soon. As always, thank you for being here and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.